Welcome back, Perfect Peeps, to AJ's Week in Web, where you can get all your web development news in 5 minutes or less. If you're a web developer, this week has been super exciting. There was 2 major conferences, and I'll cover them both separately, and then a few additionals that I've picked up throughout the week. So first off was Chrome Dev Summit 2019. There's some amazing talks that occurred throughout this, and I will put the link up for the entire Dev Summit itself so you can check out the live stream and everything going on. All the videos are pretty much up there already. A few of them that I picked out, one was Advancing the Web Framework Ecosystem. I found this one really useful already. They covered some items in Next.js that they're doing to improve load times and code splitting. If you haven't heard of Next.js yet, it is a React framework, but it covers static sites, server-side rendering, and SEO and PWA capabilities. The next one was Next Generation Web Styling, and this has been on the back of my mind for a little while now. There's a new item in the mix called CSS Houdini, and what this is going to allow for you to tap into are the low-level APIs in the CSS engine. So you can start to do many different things without using JavaScript, but yet it will feel like you are using JavaScript because you have CSS values in JavaScript. But I would definitely recommend listening to the talk because it will do it far more justice than I can do in just this simple update. Feed tooling evolutions 2019 and beyond. A big part of that is always going to be web.dev, and they have the introduction as far as user-centric performance metrics, and you can dive into that. If you haven't used web.dev before, you can run an entire lighthouse project throughout this. I often do this with HMP just to see if everything is running correctly and still optimized. So definitely check that out. The adaptive loading improving the user experience for millions on low-end devices has probably been one of the hottest topics that introduced a pretty cool new tool, React Adaptive Hooks. And what this is allowing for is you to pick up on not only are you on mobile or are you on desktop, it will also allow you to check on the device's memory or the CPU cores and start to adjust accordingly. You're also picking up on things like this on the network, which is just incredible. You switch over from images over to video, just based on that speed that you can default into. The second major conference, which is still going on, but I always try to release on a Wednesday, is GitHub Universe. We've been kind of getting bits and pieces of this prior to the event happening, but if you were on the beta, there are some hot items that kind of came out for GitHub. 2 of the major ones are at the top here, GitHub Actions and GitHub Packages. So actions are basically like Azure or AWS or Google Cloud with their CI/CD type build setups. And from what I've seen so far, they've done a really nice job adding every little CI/CD thing that you can think of with multi-platforms and multiple different built-in CI/CD programs that you can use. The second piece, the main piece that comes out of it is the GitHub Packages. So many of you probably use NPM on a daily basis, NPM.js being the most notable repository out there. Now you can start to publish your own GitHub repository that has probably your NPM.js based package inside of GitHub directly within GitHub itself. So now there's no more bouncing around to different places. Some of the final few out here outside of the conferences, the Chromium Blog actually had something interesting on it that they are looking to start putting these badges out on some of the extras outside of the conference. The Chromium Blog delivered a interesting article that kind of worries me a little bit, how they're maybe overstepping on what they're trying to accomplish. So if you have a slow site, they will start to place a badge on it that says usually loads slow. Something very cool out of the Git camp is the Commitgrass. One of the final ones we have left here is coming out of the Angular camp. It's always just a good reminder for accessibility. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be alerted to AJ's next Week in Web.